Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur, now heads the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Known for his ambitious ventures in space travel, electric cars, and even tunneling, Musk has now set his sights on transforming the federal government. His appointment to this new role has been nothing short of controversial, but Musk is no stranger to controversy. He thrives on it. He recently sent shockwaves through the federal government. His first order of business was a sweeping directive that left many in disbelief. Musk demanded that all federal employees justify their jobs. This wasn't just a casual request, it was a mandate that required immediate attention. He asked them to submit a list of their work accomplishments. Each employee had to detail their contributions and justify their roles within the government. This demand, issued via email, had a tight deadline. Employees were given just 1 week to compile and submit their reports. This sent many agencies scrambling. Musk's directive was clear. There was no room for delay or excuses. The pressure was on, and the clock was ticking. He wanted to know what each federal employee actually did. The goal was to identify inefficiencies and eliminate redundant positions. He argued that this was essential for improving government efficiency. Musk believes that a leaner, more efficient government will better serve the public. The move was met with mixed reactions. Some saw it as a necessary step towards modernization, while others viewed it as an overreach. Some applauded Musk's bold approach. They believed that his track record of innovation and efficiency could bring much-needed change to the government. Others criticized it as heavy-handed and disrespectful. They argued that such measures could demoralize the workforce and disrupt essential services. The initial deadline for compliance has passed. Now the real work begins as the submitted reports are reviewed and analyzed. Now a cloud of uncertainty hangs over the federal workforce. Employees are anxious about the potential outcomes of this unprecedented review. Musk's move has ignited a debate. Is this the radical change needed to streamline government operations, or is it an overreach that could have damaging consequences? Is this a necessary step to streamline government? Proponents argue that a more efficient government will be more responsive and effective, or is it an overreach of power with potentially damaging consequences? Critics warn that such drastic measures could lead to job losses and a decline in morale. The debate continues, and only time will tell if Musk's efficiency crusade will succeed or falter. Musk's email sparked confusion and uncertainty among federal employees. The sudden directive left many scrambling to understand its implications. Chaos ensued within various federal agencies as employees tried to make sense of the new instructions. The lack of clarity led to widespread disarray. Some agencies, like the Department of Transportation, encouraged their employees to comply with the directive. They saw it as an opportunity to demonstrate their value and efficiency in adapting to new policies. These agencies believed that by following the directive they could showcase their commitment to innovation and responsiveness. Employees worked diligently to align with the new expectations. However, other agencies, including the Department of Justice and the FBI, advised their employees to ignore the directive. They raised concerns about the potential risks involved. These agencies cited serious concerns about privacy and the potential misuse of sensitive information. They feared that complying with the directive could compromise the security of critical data. The lack of clear guidance from the Office of Personnel Management only exacerbated the situation. Employees were left in a state of limbo, unsure of how to proceed. This disparity in responses highlighted the deep divisions within the government. Different agencies had varying interpretations and reactions, leading to a fragmented approach. It also underscored the challenges of implementing such a sweeping directive across a vast and complex bureaucracy. The situation revealed the inherent difficulties in achieving uniform compliance and the need for clearer communication and leadership. President Trump has publicly backed Musk's initiative. He called it a brilliant way to identify and eliminate waste within the federal government. Trump has long been critical of what he perceives as bureaucratic bloat and inefficiency. Trump's endorsement of Musk's actions has further fueled the controversy. Critics argue that it sets a dangerous precedent. They fear it could lead to politically motivated firings and a chilling effect on dissent within the government. The Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, is at the heart of this controversy. Established by President Trump, DOGE is tasked with streamlining government operations and reducing waste. Musk, a vocal advocate for efficiency and innovation, was a controversial choice to lead the department. DOGE's mandate is broad. This gives Musk considerable leeway in pursuing his vision of a leaner, more efficient government. However, his aggressive tactics have drawn criticism from those who believe he is overstepping his authority. Section 5. Unions unleashed, a chorus of dissent. Labor unions representing federal employees have been among the most vocal critics of Musk's directive. These unions, which have long been the backbone of worker rights and protections, see this move as a direct threat to their members' job security and dignity. They argue that the directive is not only disrespectful, but also unnecessary and potentially illegal. The unions believe that such actions could set a dangerous precedent, undermining the principles of fair treatment and due process that are fundamental to the federal workforce. They argue that it is disrespectful, unnecessary, and potentially illegal. The unions have been quick to mobilize, organizing protests and press conferences to voice their dissent. They have also been engaging with legal experts to explore potential challenges to the directive, emphasizing that it could violate existing labor laws and regulations. The unions are determined to protect their members from what they see as an overreach of authority. Unions have vowed to fight any attempts to fire employees based solely on their response or lack thereof to Musk's email. They are prepared to take legal action if necessary, and have already begun to rally support from other labor organizations and advocacy groups. The unions are also calling on lawmakers to intervene and ensure that federal employees are treated fairly and with respect. The American Federation of Government Employees, the largest federal employee union, has called Musk's actions a blatant attempt to intimidate and silence federal workers. They argue that such tactics are not only unethical but also counterproductive, as they create a hostile work environment and erode trust between employees and management. The union is urging its members to stand firm and not be swayed by fear or intimidation. They argue that the directive undermines the merit-based civil service system and creates a climate of fear and uncertainty. The unions are committed to defending the rights of federal employees and ensuring that their voices are heard. They believe that by standing together they can push back against this directive and protect the integrity of the federal workforce. The unions are calling on all federal employees to join them in this fight and to remain vigilant in the face of these challenges. Section 6. Lawmakers speak out, a bipartisan backlash. Musk's directive has also drawn criticism from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. While some Republicans have applauded Musk's efforts to reduce government waste, others have expressed concern about the potential impact on federal workers. Senator John Curtis, a Republican from Utah, urged Musk to show compassion and consider the impact of his actions on federal employees and their families. Curtis's remarks highlight the growing unease among some Republicans about Musk's aggressive approach. Section 7. Legal limbo courts grapple with Musk's mandate. The legality of Musk's directive is currently being challenged in court. Several lawsuits have been filed alleging that the directive violates federal labor laws and employees' constitutional rights. The lawsuits argue that Musk's demand for work accomplishments is overly broad and intrusive. The legal battles over Musk's directive are likely to be protracted and complex. The outcome of these cases will have significant implications for the future of DOGE and the balance of power between the executive branch and federal employees. Section 8. The human cost, anxiety, and uncertainty grip federal workers. Lost in the political back and forth is the human cost of Musk's actions. Thousands of federal employees are now living with the fear of losing their jobs. Many are unsure whether to comply with Musk's directive or follow the guidance of their individual agencies. This uncertainty is taking a toll on morale and productivity. Some employees report feeling demoralized and undervalued. Others are anxious about the future and the potential loss of their livelihoods. Section 9. The uncertain future. What lies ahead for federal employees? The fate of federal employees now hangs in the balance. Will Musk's directive lead to mass firings and a shrinking of the federal government, or will the courts rein in Musk's authority and protect the rights of federal workers? Only time will tell what the ultimate impact of Musk's efficiency crusade will be. One thing is certain: the relationship between the federal government and its employees has been irrevocably altered.